finished 1-1 here in Eastbourne, Scott. I think that can only be described as a hard-fought point, which is something I think you've been after. If we can't bag all three, what were your thoughts on the game in the end?
Yeah, we didn't take enough points last season. I think we always went for the throat and tried to win the games. I thought the first half, for the first 45 minutes, it was a perfect away performance. We made it ugly, we made it gritty, and against the wind it was always going to be tough. They've obviously got a goal, a really disappointing one, I think, before half-time. Second half, I thought they were probably on top for large spells, and then the last 5-10 minutes, we could have nicked it, obviously set pieces and things like that. So, yeah, overall, really good away point. There is such a thing as a really good point on the road, and that's certainly one of them.
Yeah, it was a great start as well from our side. I mean, John Gilbert again seems to be popping up in spaces at the minute. He's scoring goals and assisting, and he's all around the pitch as per normal. But as you said there, the equaliser just coming before half-time. Was that just such a bad time to concede as well?
Yeah, awful. I think I was really frustrated, and I let rip a little bit at half-time because I was really disappointed with the goal that we conceded. A couple of lads went and pressed by themselves, and it's not what we asked for them to do. But on the flip side of that, I think the lads put in a really good performance today away from home. Really tough place to come. I've probably been here for the last 9 or 10 years now. I think we won in the FA Cup maybe once. I can't remember too often going away with much. So yeah, listen, a really good side, top manager in the league as well. Tactically, he's very astute. I've known him for years through football when I've played against him, and then he's obviously had a really good management career. So yeah, it's always good to sort of pick your wits against people like Adam. So yeah, overall, really happy with the point to stop the rot as well, having lost the last 2 games. So it obviously leads us into next week with a little bit of confidence.
And another bonus, I guess, is the fact we've seen Slough return now, and another 60 minutes for Sam in the tank. Happy now to be getting both your strikers back? Yeah,
it causes headaches, nice headaches. So obviously Sam's done 60 minutes today, and that was the plan again, just to get him up and running, and I thought he did well. I thought there were some occasions where he looked really big and strong and powerful. And then obviously Slavy coming back, we didn't want to risk him playing for too long. But listen, we all know what we think of Slavy, whether that's the staff, the players or supporters. He's obviously a massive plus for our side when he's in the team. So yeah, it was good to get him on. Really disappointed that I couldn't get the rest of the subs on, but I felt like a point away from home would have been good, which we obviously wanted to achieve. We didn't really want to change the shape and bring Gary and John on and put wingers onto the pitch. Went with wing backs instead. But listen, it's part of a team. They'll have their part to play over the coming weeks, and they understand that. I think that's the most important thing. We've all had our moments out of the team where we've not been a part of it, but they take it really well and understand why.
I suppose those positives as well might be levelled out by Josh Jackman, who came off in the first half with what looked like a muscle injury, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's his groin, so don't know how good or bad it might be. Sometimes it's one of those where you're just careful with it and obviously come off a bit of sort of like precaution. If it's a bad one, hopefully it's not too long. But Josh is Josh, he's Mr. Reliable. He doesn't really miss many games, so hopefully it's not too bad. So we'll have to look at next week. We'll think about that over the coming days and obviously prepare for a really tough game against Chatham.
And any more thoughts to add to what you spoke about on Tuesday going into that game against Chatham?
Yeah, I've done a little bit of research on them already. I try not to focus on the game after the one that's coming up, and that was obviously today. But you always have that in the back of your mind when you have a little bit of spare time. You can only watch Eastbourne so many times and not get bored of it, but you end up watching 3 or 4 games in the week and think, right, I've got a bit of spare time. What shall I do now? And you end up watching Chatham. So yeah, I'll do my research over the coming days, like I said, see what's best to go down there and hopefully get a positive result. One thing as well, before I do finish up, I think the amount of supporters that we had here today was incredible, Con. I know it's a bit of a trip to the seaside for them. I know there's a lot of them going to Wetherspoons tonight, and hopefully they'll appreciate that point, and they can go and celebrate, obviously with a nice drink or 2. So yeah, massive thanks to them. I thought they were absolutely brilliant. I know, probably sick and tired of me saying it, but I do believe that we've got the best ones in the league. Everyone sort of claims to have it, but when you see probably 150 of them behind the goal, 3 hours away from home, it's marvellous.
Yeah, I was going to mention them myself, but you beat me to it. Thanks again, Scott, and we'll see you for the FA Cup third qualifying round next Saturday.
Just one last thing I'd like to mention as well. I know I always do it. Obviously, Chrissy Winton's gone this week, so I just want to say a massive thanks to him on camera for what he's given us over the past 15 months. I love him to bits. The group love him to bits. It's a massive loss, of course it is. He's got his reasons as to why, and we completely understand that with the travelling that he does, and obviously a newborn. So we wish him well. Massive thanks to what he's given us over the past 15 months. And it obviously will be a position that we'll maybe have to look to fill. But yeah, just a huge thank you to him.
Yeah, I echo those thoughts, and thanks again, Scott, for talking to us this afternoon.
Cheers, Con, thank you.